everybody! It is Friday night, and it's time for your favorite Zelda show on the radio Hyrule, because it's the only show right now, Hyrule Academy! And I am your host, Super MC Gamer. It's good to have you all with us this wonderful, fantastic evening for some Zelda education and fan theory galore. Did you hear my voice whistle right there? Even my mouth is excited for tonight's show, which is sure to be a good sign. I'm so excited to have everybody here with me inside the Hyrule Academy classroom, so to speak. It's kind of a classroom. It's a chat room, and eventually a YouTube video comments. But I mean, that's as close as we can come, as it were. I hope everybody's excited for tonight. We have a lot of fun discussions to come up and discuss together. It's going to be fun and other such adjectives. I'm so excited. I'm sorry. Can you tell I'm excited? We do this every single Friday night at 10 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, right here on RadioHyrule.com, and I do put it up on a YouTube afterwards. For those of you who just can't find time out of your busy Friday evenings, you might be having social lives and not listening to Radio Hyrule, and I have a question for you. What's wrong with you? Come on into the show. It's a fun time overall. I mean, what happened today? It is October 3rd, and Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS released today, and I've been playing it. My 3DS sitting in front of me, my Legend of Zelda 3DS no less, and I've had a lot of fun with it. I haven't had a chance to try out any Legend of Zelda characters yet. I've been sticking to some Fire Emblem characters and a little bit of Ness. It's been a very fun time overall. That said, I'm probably going to get back into playing maybe some Sheik. I hear Sheik is very good in this game, and so I'm hyped. I'm very hyped. But also, something else arrived here inside the Super MC Gamer Studios today. Zelda Monopoly. That's right, the Zelda Monopoly released just this week, and I was very excited to get in my copy and see what's going on with it. I'm going to actually be playing with a couple of my friends eventually here, but there's something I noticed. I opened the board, and I was looking at the board, and I was like, alright, let's see what we got here. Do we have any good Zelda references? And I noticed something. So, you know, the first row on Monopoly, it's the lowest tier, places to buy. You buy them cheap, you buy them just in case, you never know. It's the Baltic Avenue. It's basically the scum. The scum scourge of the board. You pick that up not because you want it, but because you just happen to pass by it, One of the spaces in those terrible spots is called the Sacred Realm. I don't know if you're hearing me, everybody, but you heard me correctly. The Sacred Realm is apparently the scourge, the lowest tier property in the entire Zelda universe. So far, my experience with Zelda Monopoly is not a good one. As a fan of Zelda lore, I'm a little bit disturbed, but I hope things get better. Temple of Time is apparently Boardwalk. I don't think they realized that the Temple of Time actually held the Sacred Realm, but whatever. Good show, game. Good show. And also, can I mention, they call it the Sacred Realm and they show the low rule Sacred Realm. Maybe that's a lower property value. A low rule Sacred Realm is a little lesser value, but I don't know. I don't care. We're not here to talk about the Sacred Realm, as much fun as it is. And what we're here to talk about this week is a wonderful topic. That's right, Greatfish Isle. So Greatfish Isle is an island that we find inside the game, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, and of course The Wind Waker HD, of course, afterwards. And it's a once beautiful island. It was beautiful and peaceful from what we can understand from the lore. And it's in the west portion of the Great Sea. It's a few tiles north. Oh, my phone just went off. I forgot to silence it. Yeah, I'm a professional. And it's a few tiles north of Outset Island. And that's wonderful, and all. But the thing that's interesting about Greatfish Isle is it is destroyed. It is destroyed during the events of the game. You don't see it happen, but essentially what happens in the game is they teleport you around the map and restrict you from going to certain areas so that you never see Greatfish Isle before it was destroyed. But it's destroyed during the course of the game. While you're doing your adventures at Dragon Roost and the Forest Haven. And Jaboon, a big water spirit, actually fled the area because he lived there in time to escape Ganondorf and protect Nehru's Pearl. And then afterwards, all that's left on this shattered island, like it's all just giant rocks. Giant rocks, this like all dispersed. It looks like it blew up. It literally looks like it blew up. All that's left is a traveling Goron merchant and Linder the Korok. So it's interesting when we see this place that we haven't seen it before, and so tonight we don't have much information. Last week we had a topic, Impa Skyward Sword, where we had so much information about this character's life that we basically had all the answers, and to find fan theories and conclusions, we had to really scrape the bucket. Tonight is a creative night here on Hyrule Academy. I want you all to dig deep and answer the following questions and make up your own fan theories all about the Greatfish Isle. First of all, how did Ganondorf destroy this island? If you guys don't remember, his power was weakened. His power wasn't awakened yet because Link hadn't pulled the Master Sword at that time. How much power did he even have inside his unawoken state that he could destroy an entire island? That has to be some power, and I want to know, first of all, where did he get this power? How did he destroy it? Did he just happen to pick up some bombs at the shop? What happened there? Did he walk up to Windfish Island? Windfall. I said Windfall. Windfall Island. He walks up to the bomb shop, man, says, give me some bombs. I need to go blow up an island. I mean, what's happening there? Give me some theories. Also, how many people lived on this island before Link finds it destroyed? Were they different people? Were they a different race of people than what we saw? Was this the place that the Gorons resided, possibly? I don't know. I want your thoughts, and I want your fan theories. So get cooking. We got some great music for you tonight. So go on over to radiohyrule.com/chatroom, and I'll be featuring your messages later on inside the show. But for now, I gotta listen to some music. I'm just talking so much, I gotta desensitize my brain with some music. I hope you guys enjoy. Talk to you guys in just a few. Welcome back, my friends, to Hyrule Academy on this wonderful Friday evening. It's been wonderful so far discussing Greatfish Isle with you all inside the radiohyrule.com/chatroom chat. We have some theories going, and I hate to have to interrupt like my flow in talking to the chat to talk to the chat. I know that made sense. Just reread it in your head. It'll make total sense. But I have a thing I wanted to bring you today. I had a thought and some little bit of canon that I want to instruct you on as your professor, as your instructor. I want to make sure that you guys know all about that. But first, you guys want to know what music you've been listening to. Well, first off, you heard Hyrule Wimbledon by K. Triton, and it was a very fun take on the Phantom Ganon theme from The Wind Waker. I thought that getting a little bit of OC remix The Wind Waker would really supplement our playlist tonight. A little bit of feels of going to the Forsaken Fortress and fighting Phantom Ganon, and it got a little bit of a fun take on it. So I thought it was good, especially to underscore our scholarly tones inside the chat room. After that, of course, we heard some Great Sea. Of course, I love the Great Sea. The Great Sea is absolutely wonderful. And that was by Jam2995. And that was featuring the Deldre. The Deldre I've been seeing all over the place on the YouTube in terms of the YouTube arranging scene. I've been seeing the Delray all over with Zelda music. So thank you, Delray, for helping out Jam on this that beautiful take on the Great Sea. Anyways, now a quick theory for you all is about a little bit into the meta of the game, but it might help you along with your theories tonight. So there's a popular opinion that there was supposed to be a dungeon at where Greatfish Isle was, because it's very well known that inside the Wind Waker, inside the development, they had several scrap dungeons, not just one, but several scrap dungeons. And what leads people to think about that is how fitting it would be for there to be a third dungeon where Greatfish Isle would be. Not only is it because of, very simply, it makes sense for each pearl to have a dungeon, but also, if you look at the map, there is a triangle formed between Dragon Roost Island, Forest Haven, and Greatfish. Now, that triangle has a second triangle within it, leading from the 3 triangle islands. And if you take those 2 triangles and you look at it, it forms a Triforce, and it seems so fitting. And they actually even put that map in the game with the Triforce inside Tetra's cabin. So it's very popular canonically that Tetra actually went and investigated Greatfish in hopes of also finding these pearls, because obviously Tetra was very interested inside the Master Sword and her heritage and everything, and eventually she did obviously get her answers and a dress, amongst other things, but it's very interesting to me that they chose to blow up Greatfish Isle as developers of the game and say, okay, well, now you need to go here to get the pearl. Yes, it fit, but at the same time, it feels like there could have been a dungeon there. And instead of trying to make this entire place like this new place where you pick up the pearl from Jaboon, instead they worked on making this exploded island. And something just feels off about it. And I'm not sure what to make of it, but that's a popular theory, and I wanted to bring it to you guys tonight in hopes that maybe it'll help you guys process some thoughts on where I might be heading with tonight's theories. And we got some great theories actually in the chat room already, so keep them coming. Be sure to go to radiohyrule.com/chatroom if you're listening in live. Give me your opinions and thoughts on Greatfish Isle. However, right now here on Radio Hyrule, we need to take a moment to listen to some amazing music. And this time, I got you guys something good. It's absolutely by far as of this month, I think my favorite music arranger here on YouTube. I've been really enjoying his music. I've been listening to it constantly when not on air, and I've been trying to give him as many shouts as possible. It's my friend Insane in the Rain Music, who does lovely jazz arrangements of various game tunes, and recently put out an entire medley of Link's Awakening music, and it's absolutely perfect. And I want you guys to listen to it and enjoy it. So I'm going to shut up and let you listen to that while you guys talk inside the chat room about your theories. So see you guys in a little bit. Thanks for tuning on into Hyrule Academy. And welcome back to Hyrule Academy, everybody. I hope you all have been studying hard while we've been away. I hope you've been reading your Hyrule stories, even though they have very little to say on the subject that we're discussing tonight, but who cares? I have been listening to some great music, and I hope you are listening in too, because that was the Link's Awakening medley jazz cover by Insane in the Rain Music. I've already given him enough praise tonight, but I'm going to give him more, and you're going to have to deal with that. First of all, Insane in the Rain Music has been helping me a lot with my current Let's Play going on of The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. It's a continuation of my Seasons Let's Play. Linked game, good stuff, you know how that goes. And I got something very secret in the works with Insane in the Rain Music to make the Let's Play even better. But more on that later if you watch that channel. But first, shout outs to him. He released a new album very recently called Back to Your Little Roots. It's a arrangement album, all of music from the Hoenn games. So for you Ruby Sapphire fans, go ahead, check that out on Louder, and you can pick yourself up a copy. Highly recommended. I have it sitting right here inside my Windows Media Player system. How technology has changed. Anyways, let's get into discussing Greatfish Isle, because you guys have been hard at work in the chat talking about all sorts of different theories. And I'm going to kind of go through some of the ones that I felt kind of rise to the top of everything. Like you know when you have some oil in your water. Never mind, that joke is terrible. I'm just going to read the things. Anyways, first of all, let's do a little bit of basic knowledge. You know, before we dive into the big theories, let's cover some basic knowledge. First of all, Captain Trina gave us a little bit more information about Greatfish Isle and overall, and says, based on our discussion about Hyrule geography from an earlier episode, it is a reasonable guess that Greatfish is located where Lake Hylia was. And that's very possible. Now, you know where Lake Hylia is inside Ocarina of Time. It's in West Hyrule. And it does make sense pretty much where, if you think of where the Sacred Meadow was, where Death Mountain was making Dragon Roost, and then Lake Hylia. It does make general sense. Where a giant mountain came from to create an island, who knows? There's lots of time in between Ocarina and the Wind Waker, so I don't know. seismic activity could have been afoot, but that's not a discussion for a later day. However, Yasitaru comes in with a theory about how Greatfish got destroyed by Ganondorf. As you know, Ganondorf is the one who destroyed it. This is nice, alright? And so, Yasitaru says, there was floating bomb barrels with skulls they sometimes found on the ocean. Perhaps they are manufactured at the Forsaken Fortress. Ganondorf had a whole lot of them loaded up on the Helmrock King for a bombing run against Greatfish Isle. And some dropped out along the way, explaining the random ones at sea, but the majority made it were enough to do some big damage. So, the theory here is that those big barrels that really did some damage to you if you hit them when you approach Forsaken Fortress, perhaps Ganondorf had these manufactured and had the Helmrock King fly over Greatfish Isle, drop him down, and kaboom! Kablow! Kapow! Greatfish Isle is in ruins. Jabun is dashing across the sea, which I would pay to see. But just imagine in your heads for now, because I don't have that footage. It's just Jabun is racing across the sea, escaping as there is an air raid from King Ganondorf himself, the King of Evil, Prince of Thieves. That would be fantastic. That's a wonderful theory. And there's nothing really disproving it. There's nothing really proving it either. But I mean, hey, I'm all for it. Very good Yasitaru for that one. And we're going to expand on that in a very short bit. However, there was another theory, and this is one that you guys didn't quite wrap up. There was some magic words I wanted to hear, but you didn't get it. I'll fill you in on that after I read your guys' messages, though. Pie Guy said, remember the seal was weakening even before? Perhaps he did have the magic power to accomplish this. So we're talking about Ganondorf destroying Greatfish, and how he might have had power enough to do that. However, the seal was weakening. And what seal you may be saying? Well, Logical Pencils brought in a nice quote from the Wind Waker of Ganondorf himself. Ganondorf said, "You see, the Master Sword is also a sort of key, a most wretched little key that has kept the seal on me and my magic intact." And so, what that is inferring is that the Master Sword is this key, that until you pull it, Ganondorf can't do his full power. However, there's something very specific about this, is that perhaps he had enough power still to destroy the islands. He obviously caused the endless night, as you guys said, but the question is, how did he get this power? Why had he waited until then? Well, it's because of the sages. This is where you guys didn't feel like come full circle, unfortunately. The killing of the sages of the Earth and Wind temples weakened the Master Sword's power to repel evil, and probably it had a secondary effect of also weakening the seal on Ganon's power. And perhaps at that moment there was enough power given back to him that he was able to blow up the island. Vaporeous Flame says, I suspect Ganon may be more powerful inside his weak state than we think. Wasn't as a result of a curse by him that resulted in the eternal storm and eternal night that occurs when you first approach Greatfish? Indeed. So that's not like trivial magic. It's not trivial magic. So I mean, I'm sorry, Logical Pencil, if you said that inside the chat. I didn't see the word sages. I did not see the word sages once inside the chat. But I could have accidentally missed it. But yeah, I didn't see it. But that is the thing that really makes that theory hold true, is that the killing of the sages. So yeah, that's something very, very possible. And I think that's a strong theory. I think that one's just as strong as the Forsaken Fortress theory of bombs. Now let's take a quick break from that. Let's take a quick break about how to destroy this island, and let's talk about maybe who was living at that island. Captain Trina says, since the Zora are gone into bird people, it's entirely possible that Jabun might have been the only permanent resident of the island. All right, that's a possible theory. I guess I can't refute it. But I like to go deeper. Let's expand on that. Slowpoke has a theory. He says, I just had a crazy thought here. What if the residents of Greatfish Isle were fishmen? Like the fishman that you meet. I mean, they all do look kind of similar to Jabun. And when the island went boom, they all died? Well, maybe they didn't all die, Slowpoke. Maybe they all saw this explosion happen and they all scattered. Because, hey, we don't technically see a fishman until we leave Dragon Roost Island for the first time. Actually, technically, you can see it right when you get to Dragon Roost Island. You get the Wind Waker in the game. But hey, at that point, we've already seen Ganon for the first time. It's very possible that in the time that it took the King of Red Lions to find Link, that Ganon had already blown up Greatfish Isle, and the fishmen have scattered from their home. So there's a possible theory that perhaps that Greatfish Isle was a place for fish. The big fish and his fish minions, who are all very knowledgeable. I mean, hey, if you hung out with Jaboon, wouldn't you know all about the island? It's very possible. The islands of the world. Maybe it's very possible. Who knows? Maybe. We'll find out. No, we won't. We actually won't ever find out, because we're dealing with Nintendo here. And also, let's delve a little bit deeper, my friends. Riking said the magic words tonight that really got everybody thinking. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to expand on it, but I'm going to tell you guys some of my thoughts on it. Riking said, "I don't quite remember. Was there a ruined ship at Greatfish?" There was. If you look inside the destruction, the blown up bits, not pits, the bits of Greatfish Isle, there is a broken ship, a full vessel, like Tetra's ship, like part of it's on top of an island. So there was obviously some sort of ship at this island when it blew up. And ships don't just find their way randomly to Greatfish Isle. They were obviously going there for some reason. And some of the theories I saw in chat, I saw that Captain Trina thought that maybe it was the Majora's Mask or a band of Gerudo pirates. We don't see the Gerudo much in this game. Maybe there were Gerudos on that ship. That's a possibility. We do see pirate Gerudo inside Majora's Mask. So hey, it's has some canonical backing behind it. That's very possible. But my thought, and everybody else's was thinking, was saying towards the idea of it was the rival band of pirates. Tetra talks about how there used to be a rebel pirate gang that hung out inside the Forsaken Fortress. And Ganondorf comes by and he kicks him out. He kicks him right out and says, "This is my home now. Go find your own." So, wouldn't it just be interesting if to get back at Ganondorf, they set out to go find the Jaboon and the Pearl and something, and maybe Ganondorf just happens to wander on by because he can fly. He's just floating over the Great Sea. That's another sight I want to see, but I do not have the footage of. I'm very sorry. He's just floating over the islands, and he sees these rebel pirates that he just kicked out of their house, talking to Jaboon, talking to him about the Pearl, and maybe Jaboon's saying, "Oh yeah, you can have the Pearl. Yeah, you're going to defeat Ganondorf. This sounds good." Perhaps Ganondorf sees that, and in a fit of rage, he just blows everything up, including all of these pirates. But unfortunately, Jaboon is able to escape with the Pearl. Maybe that's a possibility. And Ganondorf isn't able to catch up with him. Maybe he expelled so much power that he was weakened because he didn't have that much power to begin with, and he was just like, "I need to take a nap. I'm going home." There's also another theory in the chat that perhaps Ganondorf's entire plan was to make it eternal night so that the moon would cause some shifts inside the water and there was a giant tsunami. How that broke apart an island? I don't know. Tsunamis are big business. But that's just a theory. A Hyrule Academy theory, grounded in fact and not looking at silly background textures. All right. Thank you all for your theories tonight. It's been wonderful with this community discussion. We're going to wrap up things, but first I got a little bit more music for you. A little bit more music, and I got a brand new remix straight off the OC remix trade for you. It's a wonderful, wonderful little ditty. Ditty. I believe it's Diddy. I keep thinking of Diddy Kong, though. I don't know if I can say that anymore. It's a wonderful tune. Enjoy it. This is Hyrule Academy right here on Radio Hyrule. See you guys in just a few. Welcome back to Hyrule Academy, everybody. I'm Super MC Gamer, your instructor, and I am very proud. I'm very proud of the classroom tonight. We've done some work, we did some research, we did some theorizing, we looked at the lore, we looked at stupid, crazy theories about tsunamis, and it was a fun night overall. And we had a lot of laughs as well. That song you just listened to, though, that was Forever Yours by Tim Sheehy. That's S-H-E-E-H-Y. I don't know if it's pronounced Sheehy, but I like saying Sheehy a lot, so Tim Sheehy, thank you very much. It was a very light and air-filled song, kind of you listened to it and it brought you up. It felt like you were on a cloud. I'm crazy. Have I ever mentioned I'm crazy? I'm crazy. It's a brand new song you can find over on OC Remix. My voice just cracked. I'm sorry. I'm just so passionate about fish. I'm having a moment, and I need you guys to understand and kind of sit beside me. I want us all to be sitting together. You know what? I'm gonna you know how college dorms, but instructor hall or lecture halls work. How there's a bajillion seats, and there's this one little dude down there standing in front of a projector screen. I don't want to be that dude sitting in the front of the projector screen right now. I want you all. I want to go into the crowd, sit down with you, look around, steal your MacBook, maybe play some online chess, and then we can play Zelda together on the projector. Or some Super Smash Brothers. Dropped my water bottle that I use to lubricate my throat during situations in which I have a dry throat during the show and I need to speak. And I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We had lots of great opinions today. I had a lot of fun talking to you all about the ideas that the Homerod King was dropping bombs on Greatfish, or perhaps the seal was weakened. The seal was weakened by the sages being killed, or maybe Gandalf just had enough power in his little pinky finger to blow up an entire island. All very strong theories, and we talked about possibly the fishmen who were maybe once inhabitants of this island, perhaps the pirates that were rivals with Tetra, perhaps they went to visit the island, who knows? Many theories were shared, and overall, I'm happy. I'm happy that we've all had a fun time. Chat, please make sure you say you had a fun time. Make me feel like I'm not going crazy, and I'm not the only one over here sitting in my room alone, talking to a microphone, having a very fun time doing nothing. All right. Next week, we're going to be talking about something very exciting, The Resistance. If you don't know what The Resistance is, it's from Twilight Princess. Give it a Google, look into your Hyrule stories, and mention it by name, The Resistance. And it's going to be a very, very much a great discussion, I'm sure. And that's going to be happening next Friday at 10 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, right here on RadioHyrule.com. Speaking of RadioHyrule.com, in case you've been enjoying tonight's program, I do recommend you to hop on over to RadioHyrule.com/donate and throw the station a couple of your rupees so we can keep the station up and going, keep the music flowing, keep the shows a-coming, hopefully get some more shows and production value. I listened to Eric, the owner of the site in Austin, who is also... Do they have official titles? I never asked that of them. I should ask them. Do I have an official title? Am I part of the website? I don't know. I should talk to them sometime. Ooh. Can we have a vote? Can I be president? I'm going to be president of Radio Hyrule, everybody. I have made the decision. What was I talking about? Email me at mc@supermcgamer.com if you have any requests for music for next week's show, or if you have any discussion suggestions, or you just want to tell me why tsunamis are horrible and that they're not canonical and that it was a joke the entire time, guys. Please don't hurt me. Also, a reminder that Zeldathon is coming up this winter. I'm getting excited. The trailer is nearing completion. By that, I mean it's about 5/8 of the way done. But don't worry, the final 3/8 are the easiest part, baby. I didn't say that, did I? Thank you all for your inputs tonight. We've had a wonderful show. I have one more song for you, though. It's Courage by CS Guitar 89 to get you guys in the mood about the Resistance and some Twilight Princess discussions next week. Keep it locked to Radio Hyrule. Thank you all for tuning on in this evening. Catch you guys later.